17 represents a mesmerizing stage of my life. A pivotal point allows me to look at the past, let go of my former selves, and also awaiting to embrace the unceasing freedom of the adulthood. Reflecting on my journey, I've stood firm against several trials and hurdles, and then I'm ready to accept the next challenges. All these life experiences have led me to this moment where I stood before you guys, and then right now, ready and composed to deliver my unique saga of my life. A story about disconnection and connection, family and friendship, and individual and community. I was born in an average middle family. My parents worked in the hospital, and then as doctors and nurses, we usually begin our daily routine at 6:30 in the morning. And then we'll finish the work and get home at around like 5 o'clock. So since they don't have enough time to take care of me at home, I will often follow them around the ward and then just spend most of my time in the hospital. So therefore, my childhood is drenched with a peculiar mix of hospital air, with the scent of the disinfection and also the rubber gloves. I never had an extended family to lean on. I don't have any aunts or uncles. I don't have any cousins to play with. To me, family is just the small part that consists of my parents, grandparents, and me. Take the perspective of a 6-year-old child. Just imagine that. Family is the whole universe, Like within this universe, the girl was diligently striving to create her own corner of security and connection, while also trying to weave the ties with her family members. This was a world she must live in and must depend on. But the world itself is a double-edged sword. You know that this is the world you must cling on, but meanwhile, when troubles and violence comes, there's no way to escape, absolutely. So, how do I face it? Neuroscience club founder, school VEX robotics team captain, school academic journal founder, and also editor-in-chief. Those titles allows me to put on a camouflage like this with positivity and optimism on stage, while hiding my darkest secret behind a curtain. I can't remember when the walls in my house start to whisper and whimper tales of harsh words and sharper silence. The room echoed with shattering glasses, shouted curses, and most importantly, their furnitures all crashing to the floor. I was so scared, just imagine that. In traditional Chinese education, we as kids are taught to endure hardship and remain silent. Most of the kids, including me, will feel super embarrassed and shameful when talking about family affairs, especially about domestic abuse. The social norm restricts me and keeps me shut. It frequently puzzled me how my parents always seem to be so courteous, so concerned, so devoted to their patients, can exhibit such a harsh demeanor at home towards their dearest family members. Reflecting upon it now, I may understand that, as an adult, we face different pressure every day, and that somehow most of the family disputes and conflicts comes from lack of communication and lack of misunderstanding. So, for the young Lily, just consider that, I was a kid at that time, and it matters a lot. I'm not an adult. So, it felt as if my entire world was collapsing and it was crashing down. The incidents, accompanied by an incomprehensible mix of bewilderment and tears, eventually and repeatedly struck me like a relentless storm. I want to erase the bruises on my arms, but cutting off the physical financial bond is really hard and it's nearly impossible. So, the feeling of disconnection occupied me and triggered my self-defense system. I found myself growing increasingly insecure, sensitive, and also introspective towards others' comments. I would be afraid that others would think me like, okay, this guy is so defiant, and we don't want to make friends with her. And to me, all friendship seemed to be nothing more than superficial and transient relationships. I saw that only personal interest can hold people together, and there's no person that I can trust them wholeheartedly. As time passed, I spiraled into the pattern of self-destruction, suffered emotional breakdown, and became isolated. Re-establishing the connection is not easy, but however, I'm the lucky one, and that is why right now I can stand on the TEDx stage and deliver the speech. So 3 years ago, I joined the school VEX robotics team. I still remember the day I first stepped into the VEX team's meeting room for an interview. Overcome my shyness, I just perched on the chair, secluding myself in the corner, and then watched other team members just diligently work on their robots assembly, and also they engage rigorously in the training. I was plagued by a sense of superfluity, unable to interject in the ongoing conversation and discussion. I'm afraid that my sudden self-introduction will disrupt the established camaraderie within my teammates. So certainly, I was indeed caught in a state of unease and confusion. But then Jeff, who is also our guest speaker, who is going to talk about the Oxford University experiences today, and who is also our former captain, just popped out in front of me and invited me to assist in assembling the field components. He said to me okay, Lily, just relax. We come here all for one reason. We all love VEX robotics. Come on, just treat us like family. Just enjoy it. Have fun. So, and that night, we worked together until 9 o'clock in the evening. This marked my first foray into the club activity and initiated a series of first events. I joined the first brainstorming section, made my first robot design, and even started to invite others to order food online together. Yes, and this is my first time to use an online food ordering app, surprisingly. So before VEX, I joined the VEX team. I usually just went down to LalaLand and then, randomly grab a rice bowl and then eat it for convenience. It cost me only 5 minutes. But right now, I would rather spend 30 minutes with my teammates. We just sit around and gather around besides a round table, and then we eat and chat and communicate. I enjoy this moment very much. A string of first-time experiences found birth here, triggering an irresistible urge within me to integrate into this big family. The robot's construction requires at least 200 hours of commitment. Before the contest, we will daily work until 3 a.m. each day, putting together gears and twerking the power system and creating the program routes. We sometimes convene for midnight meetings to talk about, okay, what is our next robot's design? Okay, what improvements should we do for the next step? And we jointly pen down engineering notes. And we have, by the end of the season, we have 2 engineering books for approximately 100 pages, and thus fully encompassed our memory. The random act of kindness when the teammate brought me a rice bowl during my busy schedule, the warm notes of concern from a teammate after an all-night of debugging, or the fact that we would instinctively think of one another whenever we are trying to head out for a meal or recreation, all remind me of the warmth my teammate brought to me. And gradually, the tight knot within me began to unravel, fostering a sense of trust and reliance on this bigger family. The whole of insecurity is mended by unity and care. I realized that the VEX team now to me is a harbor where I can rest and find my belongings. It is where leadership, collaboration, and creativity skills grow, enhance, and thrive. Understanding each other, we understand each other, we became akin to siblings, we embrace each other's mistakes, and most importantly, we're just like families. And we can just give each other a hug whenever somebody needs. Finally, after 6 months of rigorous training, we won the Best Innovation Award and Best Design Award, qualifying us to the World Championship. And our team solidarity peaks at the World Championship Asia Division event. We pioneered the first semi-autonomic robots during the season. erecting an unbreachable defensive line that wins the admiration and emulation of all vexers around the globe. When unfurling its wall, it could secure the scored baseline within a protective area, guaranteeing a win. So we defined our standpoint when facing the unfair treatment from the judges, and we won over spectators and competitors' trust with our prowess. And in that moment, we left our marks and names in Vex history. And this is probably the most exciting moment as the wallboard just extends its wall on the World Championship event, and somehow like hundreds of audiences just stand up and clap and give us a round of applause. So as you can see, it can secure the score baseline perfectly and then ensuring our winning. So yeah, and that's pretty exciting. Home-based hardship have led me to isolation, yet it is the warmth, the unity, and also the care and the enthusiasm of my team members that encourage me to embrace the better future, tomorrow, and hope. The power of human connection is extraordinary. When you forge fresh, healthy, and also stable connections, you will notice that the sense of disillusionment born from past trauma and also toxic disconnection just starts to fade away. Instead, it is replaced by an invigorating surge of new energy. The scars of my past may fade over time, but will never completely be gone. It will still be a part of me, and it remained there for a reason. They are not just reminders of my past pain, but they are also the symbolism of my strength and resilience. They are testaments to my journey from being a victim to being a survivor. And right now, I continue to thriving in the community. They are constant reminders that I have the strength to overcome adversity, the courage to establish connections, and most importantly, the resilience to turn my pain into the power. Simultaneously, the journey of rebuilding connections have graced me with new inspirations. This is the first time I conceptualized the community. So in the community, each individual acts as a component and interacts and intercorrelates with each other. So in order to ensure successful evolution, we humans must contain enough variances and diversity. However, one unique thing to the human society is that we not only want our community to survive, but we also want it to thrive. So in order to achieve that goal, humans collaborate and connect with each other. However, due to the natural communication gap, we'll often find ourselves hard to communicate and sometimes even misunderstanding each other. And that's why we need the connectors. We need the connection, and then this connection requires the medium and opportunity. And the connectors just serve as the bridges that facilitates the exchanges of ideas, resources, and supports among individuals. They're the catalyst for collective growth and progress, and that is the next stage for me, after overcoming the trauma, to contribute myself to the community. In the next 2 years, as connectors, we established VEC's first China Robotics School Team League. We held several small competitions, and we even share our insights on Bilibili, WeChat official subscription, and even YouTube. After the older teammates graduated from high school, I took the role of the captain and then started to nurture the newcomers. Many of them are just like the young little Lily who don't know, okay, what to do, okay, who don't know, like, how do I build a robot, and who don't know, like, how should I treat each other like family, and most importantly, they don't know, like, why I call the VEX Robotics team a family. And I know that needs time, and that will be the absolute conclusion they will reach after they go through the journey. So I have witnessed 3 generations of Vex Robotics team and share the glory. It's my honor to stand by those participants and my teammates. I'm happy to see that the school team has built strong connections with all Vexers around China, including Beijing, Zhejiang, Hangzhou, Nanjing, and so on. We exchange meaningful ideas and insights, and encourage the community to blend, mix, and grow. In the end, here I am. I'm standing here. I've metamorphosized from that little girl who was ceaselessly seeking connections to a formidable connector who has the ability to unite individuals and coordinate the group. Right now, I really appreciate the effort of TEDx and also for our organizers, Jerry and Jeff, who also act like connectors and provide me the chance right now on the stage to share my stories and insights with you, the audiences under the stage, and also to the young teenagers around the globe. And thank you so much. This is my speech. I know it's imperfect, but thank you.